The rain poured heavily that night, drumming against the windows like desperate hands pleading to be let inside. In a small, dimly lit room, 17-year-old Ethan sat hunched over his worn desk, staring blankly at a crumpled rejection letter. His dream of becoming an artist had been crushed once again, another competition lost, another voice telling him he wasn't good enough. He clenched the letter in his fist, tears of frustration blurring the sketches scattered across his desk. Maybe they're right, he thought. Maybe I'm just not meant for this. Ethan had always loved to draw. Ever since he could hold a pencil, he had filled notebooks with colorful worlds and characters no one else could see. His art was his escape, his voice, the only way he truly felt understood. But as he grew older, the voices around him grew louder: teachers, peers, even well-meaning family members, all suggesting that he focus on something more realistic. Each comment, each dismissal, chipped away at his confidence until it felt like there was almost nothing left. The next morning, Ethan dragged himself to school, his sketchbook heavy in his backpack like a burden he was ashamed to carry. During lunch, he sat alone under the big oak tree at the edge of the schoolyard, flipping mindlessly through his drawings. He didn't notice Mr. Harper, the school's janitor, watching him from a distance. Mr. Harper was an old man with a kind smile and wise, knowing eyes. Most students barely noticed him as he swept the halls and fixed broken lockers, but today, he approached Ethan, pulling up a spot on the grass beside him without saying a word. For a while, they just sat there, listening to the wind rustling through the branches. Finally, Mr. Harper spoke, his voice low and rough like gravel. "You've got a gift there, son. I can see it from a mile away." Ethan shrugged, not meeting his eyes. "Doesn't matter. No one else thinks it's good enough." Mr. Harper chuckled softly. "Let me tell you a little secret. Most people can't see what's inside you until you show them loud and clear. And sometimes, you gotta believe in yourself so much that their voices get drowned out by your own." Ethan frowned. "That's easier said than done." "It is," Mr. Harper agreed. "But the most important things usually are." He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small, folded photo. It showed a younger Mr. Harper, standing proudly in front of a gallery wall filled with vibrant paintings. Ethan's eyes widened in surprise. "I used to paint too," Mr. Harper said, a nostalgic smile tugging at his lips. "Until I let the world convince me I wasn't good enough. Gave up before I ever really tried." His gaze turned serious. "Don't make the same mistake I did." Those words sank deep into Ethan's heart. For the first time in weeks, a small flame flickered inside him, a fragile hope that maybe, just maybe, he didn't have to give up. That night, Ethan dusted off his sketchbook, opened a fresh page, and began to draw. Not for competitions. Not for approval. Just for himself. He poured his heart into every stroke, letting his emotions spill onto the page in ways words never could. Over time, the drawings piled up raw, honest, imperfect, but beautiful because they were real. Slowly, Ethan found his voice again. Months later, the school announced its annual talent showcase. For the first time, Ethan signed up without hesitation. He worked tirelessly, crafting a series of pieces that told a story, his story of struggle, doubt, perseverance, and hope. The night of the showcase, Ethan stood behind the curtain, his heart pounding so loudly he thought everyone could hear it. He almost backed out. But then he remembered Mr. Harper's words, "Believe in yourself so much that their voices get drowned out by your own." When the curtain rose, Ethan stepped forward and unveiled his artwork. The auditorium fell silent, then erupted into applause. Students, teachers, even the principal, all on their feet, clapping and cheering. Tears welled in Ethan's eyes as he realized they weren't just applauding his art. They were applauding his courage, his resilience, his belief in himself. After the show, Mr. Harper found him backstage. He gave Ethan a proud nod, his eyes shimmering. "You found your voice," he said. Ethan smiled, feeling lighter than he had in years. "Thanks to you." Mr. Harper shook his head. "No, son. Thanks to you. You just needed a reminder of what you already had." From that day forward, Ethan chased his dreams with everything he had. There were still setbacks, still people who doubted him. But he had learned something priceless: the world's opinion would never matter as much as the belief he held in his own heart. And that belief, that unshakable, burning belief, would carry him farther than he had ever imagined. Moral of the story: believe in yourself, even when no one else does. Your dreams are worth fighting for, and the first step to making them real is trusting that you are enough, just as you are.